Hey guys, hello and welcome. I'm filming my third video of the day. I'm finally feeling like I have enough time to film these. So I figured why not shoot two birds with the same stone and film a couple more in the same day. Yeah, I have this really beautiful fern here that I wanted to show you. Yeah, this here is the crocodile leaf fern. I don't know if you guys can appreciate that form. This here is in the Polypodiaceae family. It's a native of Australia. A lot of the plants I don't talk to are actually from Australia. Most of them are Southeast Asia or Central America. This guy here is actually from Australia. I think the Queensland area, so kind of just by the Great Barrier Reef, northern part of Australia. Yeah, so this here is Microsorum. Wait. Microsorum, I gotta remember this. Microsorum musifolium, that's what it is. Microsorum musifolium, which basically means that it produces small spores and that it has a crocodile-like leaf. Microsorum, sorus is the fruiting body, the spore. Musifolium, I think that's corrugated leaf blade or something like that. Just a species distinguisher. So it's in the Polypodiaceae family. It's very unusual. It has a very kind of fleshy root system. It likes it to be very wet. So if you want to get really big long leaves on this, you don't want to get too much browning. This one has a little bit of brown. You're going to want to make sure that it stays consistently wet. It does not like drying out at all. It really appreciates higher humidity. The biggest thing that I can compare this plant to is a calathea or a calathea, especially the medallion one. It'll go brown on the edges. Homalamine is another one. It'll go brown on the edges if you don't have enough water or moisture. It likes lower light. I know that's kind of weird because a lot of ferns tend to be kind of higher light when you bring them indoors. Boston fern being a great example. This guy here, definitely on the lower light spectrum. It'll burn very easily from what I've seen if you put it anywhere near outdoor light. I put this one outside for a week last summer and I lost all of the leaves because they burnt and they were crispy, and thankfully I managed to get it back. So this is something that I don't say a lot on this channel, but something that I really want to mention is drainage. This guy here, in my personal opinion, does not like readily draining soil. It likes it to be waterlogged. It's almost like a bog plant, and you'll learn that very quickly because you'll lose a lot of leaves if you let this dry. They like to be pot bound, so these guys don't like repotting a whole lot. If you get these distorted leaves here, most of the time that's a response to a lack of humidity. They sort of come up from the base here. They start off small. One thing I want to say that's really weird about this fern is the leaves don't really come out of the very middle, if that makes sense. They kind of produce this stand of leaves. There's not like a central corolla or like a central point that they originate from. They all kind of emerge right from the base of the soil. I don't know if you can see that. It reminds me a lot of a sansevieria or like a, excuse me, a snake plant. So these guys are very glossy, and as you know with glossy plants, they do tend to attract spider mites. So if it's too dry, spider mites love this plant. Just wipe it down with a little bit of diluted soapy water or neem oil. Make sure that you up the humidity or they will probably succumb to spider mites if you have them in your collection. The leaves do naturally dry off when they're old. These are some of the juvenile leaves that got old and they just fell off. That's perfectly normal, but if you're losing a lot of leaves, probably a sign to worry for your plant. This over here is the midrib. If you notice that the midrib goes a little bit black, that's usually it's got like some sort of a fungus or a tarnishing. Cut off that leaf because it'll spread. That's my only word of advice. I don't know if you can see just how beautiful that pattern is. If you want to get leaves that have really defined veins, give this guy a little bit of a nitrogen fertilizer every once in a while. It'll really beef it up. In my personal opinion, this plant is a little bit easier than the regular bird's nest fern, but it's kind of like a fiddle leaf fig in that you kind of have to figure out where it enjoys living in your house and just don't move it because it doesn't like being moved. I probably shouldn't be moving this one too much. It's got this really rippling, undulating margin. If this all flats out, usually that's a response to water stress. Um, they do tend to fruit kind of when it gets a little warmer. This plant doesn't like getting cold at all. Kind of like the heart-leafed fuzzy fern. I don't really know what it's called, but it's really trendy these days. This guy doesn't like getting cold either. So, just a few things I wanted to say about this fern. Every once in a while, you'll get like a bacterial spot. On the difficulty out of 10 list that I want to bring back, I'm gonna give this guy a 7. I don't know, it's a little fussy. I'm really happy that I managed to get it to the point where it is. Isn't that beautiful? The fronds can get over a foot and a half long, even 2 feet long in Australia. It's quite incredible. Um, yeah, if you're gonna water this, I recommend bottom watering it. If you top water it, you kind of get a little bit of rot around here. You just want to avoid that. Depending on where you are in the world, this plant could be pretty hard to replace in your collection. Here in Metro Vancouver, I find this really hard to find in stores, so I really don't want to mess it up because I don't want to buy another one. Yeah, it looks really cute in a decorative pot. A very long-lived plant if you grow it right. Yeah, so stay blessed, you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll try to come up with more videos later. I don't feel like filming them every day, so I'm gonna try to like stagger them. I'll try to be more consistent, but like who knows if that'll happen, right? Stay blessed, you guys. See you later, and yeah, have a good day. Oh, actually, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna try to make more videos on like herbs and edible plants. I think some people are getting a little bit tired of the ornamental plants and want more practical tutorials and stuff. So I'll try to get more herbs and stuff in. But yeah, have a beautiful day. Stay blessed. Be safe. See you later.